All right, Victor here again, restoringmercedes.com. Another video for Dave in Long Island. Okay, David, so right now I have my smoke thing hooked up. Creates smoke right now, and it's filling up intake manifold. Both mass airflow sensors are plugged up. I already see smoke coming. Okay, so here it is. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, there goes. So this is that infamous tube. This is quite a lot. I mean, they're all bad. I mean, that's just a given. So we have quite a lot of smoke coming, as you can see it. That's coming from the intake manifold breather pipe, as you can see. It's very visual. That's what I like seeing. I mean, that's why I like using the smoke machine. Now back here there is a little bit of smoke coming as well, but this one you can't really see. Maybe you would. There, you can see that's the end of the smoke of the pipe that goes from front to the back over here. So this is where the pipe actually ends, and then it goes to both throttle bodies. So obviously this was sort of like kind of like expected, but we'll talk about other things. CGR valves are okay. This is okay, but this is lots of smoke. There's a lot of smoke going on over here. So that pipe is blown. Maybe I can get the camera with the flash. Here it goes. You can see. Actually, you can actually see that little pipe. You see that? That's where it's coming. Underneath, because I cannot see it. But on camera, you can see it. There it goes. See? That is the beginning of the pipe, and you also can see lots of oil all over the place. We'll get to that in a minute. But before that leak is before that vacuum leak is repaired, there is no other way. I mean, I usually do smoke test after that is repaired. That gives you a little bit of irregularities with idle, but that's pretty drastic. I mean, that's mine is leaking, but you know, my car, but this one is leaking badly. Okay, let me just keep going here and shut down the smoke machine. The air is still going to be pushing residual smoke through the system, so it'll air out. The belt, so I removed the belt. The fan, as you can see, it's empty. I mean, it's removed because I wanted to get to the hose. So basically I cut off the tip of the hose. I'll show you what it looks like right now. Let me get to that hose. Okay, so this is a piece I cut off, just the very tip, so you can basically see it just compressed over years. This is the normal diameter, and this is how it became. So I just cut it right off the edge, push it back up, and move the clamp down a little bit so it grabs well again. So that's fine. But the oil leak situation and all of these other things, the vacuum leak and whatnot. So here, first things first, the pulleys, right? So when the belt is removed, obviously you can spin pulleys. This one, right? This one, well, first this one, right? This is idler. They all fail. This one is good. All right. It's weird. This one has just a little bit of a noise, but not super critical yet. But obviously, that is something to deal with. Probably would be a good idea. But again, maybe we'll do it in the scope of work later. Now this one right down here is good, and then that's fine. Okay, so we can see this one is good. This one is fine too. The water pump, that's not really great, but let me try to get this thing so you hear it. you hear that bearing already going, but not, I don't know, it's, there it goes, maybe now. All right, just I'll be quiet for a second. I'll try to make this video with the noise. All right, let's go for it. Okay, so you get the idea. It's not also super critical, but it's getting there. The belt tensioner is fine. Power steering and suspension is fine. AC compressor down there is fine. Nice and smooth. This one is good too. Water pump I don't like much, and I don't like this one much. Now they're not totally failed, or there's no movement yet. Everything seems to be intact. It's just that you know, sooner or later that has to be done. The oil leak situation. Once we have belt removed, I can show you the leaks. This is where the majority of the leak is coming from, right in there. See, this is pretty ugly. This is that seal. As you see, this is where the light beam is, right there. This is one of the seals. That's that little infamous U-shaped little gasket. And you see how clean it is down in this area is because the oil is coming out there and cleaning all the dirt. And see, this is where it is. This is that little seal where the beam of light is. See that little rubber piece covered in dirt. But this is what it is. So it's on this side, it's here, and here it is on this one. Is very, very visible right here. So this is that little seal. This one basically seals the block, the head, with the upper chain cover. That is what I described before. The upper chain cover is this piece right here. As you can see, a split right there. That's a split. This is the cover. So it goes all around, down there where that seal is, around the seal and up. But to get to it, obviously, it's sort of a job, because you can see how many things have to come out. And when on top of that, everything on top has to come out. And while you're there, then you replace the breather pipe. You probably change your ignition wires, because that would be much easier, because the intake manifold will be off, so they can be routed easier. There are extensions on intake manifold. It depends. If your car is later 95, you might have the extenders that can be reused. Just the seals, the green seals, can be replaced. If it's an older style, then it's silicone basically. If it's an old style, which is not really good, so you want to replace them with dealer pieces that will have seals versus just silicone. So this is unknown what's in this car, because once you remove it all, then you see it. While doing that, you do valve cover gaskets, because again we have that leak in the back there. The oil is coming, and that's the valve cover gaskets. That is all. They're also done. And caps and rotors, well, they can be done anytime, but when the fan is removed, obviously it's easier to get to. The wires do appear to be original, because based on what they look like, they seem to be original. Not like it's critical, but mine are original at 206,000 miles, and they still work fine. But again, I haven't removed my intake manifold, so I never did anything to wires yet. I mean, when you do this job, you do this job. And obviously when all of this is removed, then the water pump is more or less, I mean, it's obviously accessible way better than removing it right now. To remove the water pump at this point, the tubes for the coolant, this is the part of the water pump right here. So all of this, not this one, I'm sorry, the water pump part is right there, down there. So this is bolted to it, so you remove that, then there are O-rings, and it's like, you know, once you touch one thing, then another one shows up, and another one. But I'll send you a link to a video of mine where I showed the exactly same job I did on the red one, on a red 600 SL, that also had this leak, and I wanted to do it because it was kind of bad. So, and the car only had like 26,000 miles, so it's 93, but still you definitely will understand the scope of work. But yeah, so this is where we have all our oil situation coming down there. You see, pretty dirty, and it's leaking a lot actually. This is actually kind of a severe case. Now, you will not damage the engine if you have this leak. That's the thing. There is no pressure there, it's just residual. Oil splashes all over the place, and so that's all residual that's coming all over the place. And once you have the low oil light come on, then obviously you have to add oil, and that's a given. The vacuum leak over here is also not going to damage the engine. It's just like it doesn't run very smooth though, because it's not sealed anymore. It's leaking vacuum through, and that's obviously giving you extra air in the system. But if everything else is sealed off, and when everything else is sealed off, computers can adjust to more or less bring air-fuel ratio to more or less proper range. As I showed you in the first video, it's the computer still managed to bring them into the range, so we're okay there. But again, this is something to look into, so I just figure I'll make this video before, and the video be all day on this car today. So, oh, by the way, that's the engine mount from the top here. You can see how basically compressed it is. There is literally, as you can see, there's literally no room between the shield and the base of the mount. So that means that it's gone. It's like completely collapsed. On this side, we know that this mount is blown, but this one I think has a little bit of rubber left, because there is a little bit of space. The hydraulic is blown, but the rubber is probably just a little left, and it just kind of sits a little higher, so that's a good thing. But in any event, both mounts, yeah, they're to be done. It's just no question about it. And other than that, you know, looking inside the engine, I removed this hose just so I don't want to break this little piece, because if it's in the way, you can easily break this radiator piece and game over for radiator. So that's why it's removed. Inside the engine, it's beautiful. I mean, to be honest with you, this is like, look how clean it is. This is like insanely clean. So whoever had this car religiously changed oil. This is nice. This is a very good thing. This is a very good thing to see. This is like, it's almost white. This is great. I mean, that I saw, I was like, wow. Either the engine has low mileage, or it's been taken care of. So somebody really looked into this particular motor. All right, so I'll cut it quits, and once you get this, call me. We'll discuss the further things to do. This is Victor, thestorymercedes.com. Thank you for watching.